What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, I come with you with a special report. Really, we had to get these news. Some big topics are coming in regarding the Juventus mercato. So, of course, I got to cover them. Even with the late video as it is today, make sure you tune in and make sure you check out the full video for the latest rundown of all things Juventus. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Tuesday, January 18, 2022. And of course, as I said, I have your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all that you care about most, especially now that it is the mercato season. And before you know it, it'll be closing up here. We have a couple weeks left, really. But we have the latest rundown with all the latest news that we have right now. That's why I'm coming with you with a late night special report regarding all things Juventus. First off, let's just go ahead and jump into it. But before we do that, make sure you smash that like button. If you like the video, like the content that we bring you regularly, please hit the like button. It really helps the videos with the algorithm and all that to really reach a higher demographic and more Juventus fans. More the better, right? And then also hit that the subscribe button as well to join our community and what we have here as well. And then that bell icon is always a big help when you get the latest videos as soon as they're hot and ready and piping coming out of there for you. All right, let's go ahead and just jump into it. The first bit of news that we have for you today is Rovella'S, who's talking about Juventus still looking for a forward. Most importantly, and I apologize, I am myself a little bit under the weather, so if I have to clear my throat a little bit, it happens. You guys are going to have to deal with that. I apologize. Anyway, let's just read this off. He's saying Juventus have asked for information on Martial, some contacts with his entourage. For the moment, no open dialogue with Manchester United, though. Although the relationships between both clubs are excellent, Juve want a loan plus an option. Juventus also in the last hours have spoken with the entourage of Martial. Analysis of overall costs, potential formulas, etc. At the moment, there is still no negotiation with Man United, but it remains a track to follow. So anytime that Rovella'S comes out there and addresses a specific target and talks about him and his situation, you know that it's starting to be actually something. There's something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Though some other comments were made, we're going to follow that up here in just a second. I still wonder how likely it is for Juventus to actually follow through with a plan like Martial, especially just given if you're only going for a play for 6 months. Let's be honest, I think everybody knows what they're getting into in this moment. Would Martial even really be interested in leaving his career in limbo like that, where you go to Juventus for 6 months and then you see where you can go from there? I don't even know what the player's personal thoughts are on that as it stands right now, but there have been contacts obviously with him. So obviously there's some interest, but I'm not a professional footballer, but at the same time, I would be a little bit weary about 6 months and then that's it, and then I'm doing this all over again. We'll see. To go off of that, though, we have to go over here with some comments made by Arrivabene'S about Martial. And Arrivabene'S, talking to Sports Media Set, talked about prior to the match. And I will say one thing is, if there's one difference from Arrivabene'S than from some of the guys like Paratici and that we dealt with in the past is or the other guys in the board and all that, that work along with Cherubini and all that, is Arrivabene'S does not really mince words. He's very upfront with how he feels, and he does not really play the game. Does that sound right? The game is not really played as much with him. He's pretty much, here's how it's going to be, here's the issue, here's whatever I feel on it. Either it's a done or what. Anyway, going on with this, he goes on to say, basically saying that Martial is too expensive right now. Martial at Juve in January, these are his quotes, whatever. At those figures, it's not a feasible deal. Certain figures are out of the question. We're not waiting for any discount. So he's pretty upfront. I don't know if he feels pretty comfortable being given the situation with Manchester United. As Rovella'S said, Juventus have good relationships with them, and as it stands right now, it's still something to watch, even though he kind of shut it down. And what I would say is the quote-unquote put the kibosh on it, basically saying Martial's not walking through excuse me, Martial is not walking through that door, is how I look at it. It's still a possibility, especially if you have a good relationship with Manchester United and they want to move him even for just the current time. But as it stands right now, I'm going to go through the way I felt like it for a long time. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Juventus is going to. The possibility, though, obviously is there, but I don't think Juventus is going to add Martial to the team in the coming weeks, really. I just don't see it happening. I personally think, again, I thought Icardi may have been one option, but if they don't really want to go through it at PSG, that I think right now we're probably going to be sticking just with Alvaro Morata and what we have in the attack, and that's probably it. But we'll see. As you know, each day something new pops up there. Kind of the big story though of the day is right here. And again, I apologize. I know I'm clearing my throat in the mic, and I apologize for that. I know people complain about it. It's the time we live in, but also it's where I live is the worst place for it. So I apologize. I'm coming down with something currently. Hopefully I recover soon. Anyway, DiMarzio goes on to talk about Rovella and the situation with Juventus maybe changing their mind about the player, saying that Juve are pushing for Rovella now, but Genoa they don't want to let him go and weaken their squad. Allegri in particular would like to have him back now. The deal is, however, linked to the sale of Archer or another player. The alternative for Juve is Zakaria. All right. One of the things that really, when I hear this, let me just clear my throat real quick. There we go. Sorry. That way it's not directly in the mic. Okay. One of the ways that I really look at this, and it surprises me to see the name of Archer being the guy that's linked with Rovella coming in. And when I say that, what I mean is, shouldn't Ramsey be the guy? Shouldn't Ramsey be the one? His wages opening up, that would open up Juventus really to be able to bring him in. And I understand maybe we're operating, and maybe we're not on the same page. Maybe we're operating under the idea and the feeling that to bring in any player, it's Ramsey's going, and then somebody else has to go too. I don't fully believe that, and I think given the current situation and the makeup of the squad, things are becoming a bit more dire. But also, with the comment of Genoa talking about they don't want to let him go and weaken their squad, my guy, or my squad, or whatever you want to call yourself, I'm trying to be nice. Genoa, how do you perceive that you look like you give a damn about any of that? Especially after you literally hire a guy and fire him within 2 months of him being named the coach of your squad. Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. If you hire somebody, you kind of ride. I know a lot of people have said that about Juventus in the past. That Juventus, they at least ride with their guy until the end of the season. Like, and then you have some squads like this that are just being wildly unprofessional, is the way I look at it. You're wildly unprofessional. You're throwing your squad into chaos. If you bring a guy in to right the ship, and like for some reason you're like, oh no, I don't think this is gonna work. Why would you pull it right then? Unless you really think you're in a situation that you can make a gigantic difference in your future moving forward. And I don't really see that they've made that move. So I'm sorry about your luck, but in this situation, if Juventus wants it, I think they can get it. They can bring him in here and now. So I just think also you want to respect that to a point. Before you wanted to respect that, but now it's just kind of a situation where I look at it and I'm like, I don't really see that they're showing the team the same respect. Why would I want to waste Rovella being there, wasting his time, wasting his development on a squad that really he's the best player and he's playing with a bunch of guys that probably are going to be playing in Serie A next season. Continuing off of that, also said the alternative for Juve is Zakaria. That also surprises me. And this is DiMarzio saying it. And sometimes I feel like DiMarzio's just throwing whatever at the wall and seeing what sticks. But again, I don't think Zakaria is an alternative in the situation. I think you bring in both Rovella and Zakaria if you can, here and now, or in the in the summer, especially in the summer. So we'll see. We'll monitor how that moves, what happens there, how that shakes out. But as it stands right now, one thing I also want to make a comment about, we talked about Archer in both of these situations, about a sale, being able to move somebody in. After watching the game we watched today, Juve and Sampdoria, and I understand Sampdoria is also in a situation that they're not in the peak of their game either, right? But I feel like we've really started to see Archer shine and how he can be useful in that midfield, especially helping unlock and allowing Locatelli to do so many more things in the midfield there to really create for players to do other things defensively or whatever have you. At that same time, so I think it's too much. It's almost too much of a risk to really to let Archer go right now without that other guy right there ready to go to sign with Juventus. That's my personal opinion. You let me know in the comment section down below. All right. And then also let me know what you think about Rovella coming in early. I know a lot of people are high on it. I'm pretty high on it. But what you think about it? Is he too young to really play a pivotal role, or do you think he's good to go? All right, and then we have Foot 365. Damn girl, fine. Okay, no, we're not doing we're not doing Ying Yang. Or is that Ying Yang Twins or is that Lil Jon? You let me know if you can remember down in the comment section. Anyway, I'm having a little fun with this, guys. Okay. Anyway, Bruno. I always struggle with the last names. Guimaraes. Maraes, whatever. Bruno, we know, we love him. We all want him at Juventus. Right now, talks are going on between Lyon and Juventus over the possible transfer of Bruno G. How about that? Bruno G. But hard to see how an agreement can be reached with Lyon's demands. Juventus are looking to move to replace Arthur, who is closing in on a loan move to Arsenal. So as it stands right now, it seems unlikely. Just because Lyon's asking for a lot of money, and we need to see Juventus if they can find a way to lower that deal at all, that price at all for them. But I think I speak for most Juventus fans who are salivating at the idea of this player coming to play for Juventus and really bolster midfield, especially if it does look like Arthur is going to go and we can make a move with Arsenal. If you bring this guy in, then I'm feeling way less pessimistic about that situation then. So anyway, that's how it stands right now. We'll see if it continues to develop. And then finally, the last piece, of course, is talking about Zaccaria, who we were talking about earlier. Mirko Di Natale is saying that Zaccaria is, for characteristics, the player preferred by Allegri and the most successful at an economic level. Basically saying he's the, not off-brand, but he's the level down from getting Tchouaméni. Because Tchouaméni, it's just not happening at this point because he's going, you got Premier League guys, you got, the money clubs. Not that Juve isn't right now Juve is not a money club. Anyway, going on to say that Juve Arsenal contacts for Archer continue. The English club continues to be interested in a dry loan with salary paid until the end of the season. Well, whatever. We'll see how that plays out with the Arthur situation going in to Arsenal. But it seems more and more like the idea of Zaccaria is becoming more and more concrete. And maybe they're going to try to hopefully accelerate a little bit at getting him at an economic level. Of course, no matter who you're going to get, you're going to have to make some sales. You're going to have to, whatever the situation we had to do to get rid of Ramsey, to get him gone. It seemed, I think the latest reports that I heard were somewhat, and again, rumors. So you never know if it's true or not, but he turned down moves to Newcastle, and there was another one. I feel like I just want to throw Crystal Palace just because it always seems like that name comes up. But anyway, no, it was Newcastle and somewhere else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As it stands right now, he has not accepted anywhere. We've got to find a way to get Ramsey moved as soon as possible to really get the situation moving and going on in the future. Anyway, that's where it sits right now. We'll see if Zaccaria, Rovella, any of those guys come in, if what Arthur's situation sticks out with. I still am more than okay to really see our an Archer, Locatelli, McKennie midfield. I would love to see more of that, especially with the rest of the season if you can't get one of these guys to come in. But it would be a huge get to get Bruno, to get Zaccaria, and then also bring in Rovella. Rovella's going to happen one way or another. Either it's going to happen here and now or it's going to happen in the summer. But one thing we know is that Rovella, he's a Juve-owned. He's coming to Juventus. We'll see if there's which other guy accompanies him down the road. Anyway, guys, that's all the news I really have for you today. Let me know your thoughts on any of the topics that I talked about today. Did you think that I'm an idiot about anything that I said? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section down below. I appreciate you all, as always. Make sure you hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. And hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. If you want to, follow Bianconeri's at Bianconeri's on Twitter and Instagram. And if you feel so inclined, you can follow me and yell at me on Twitter at Justin Sofro as well. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve. Forza Bianconeri.